Hey, what's up YouTube? It's me, Rashad. Today I'm about to tell you guys exactly how to graduate college debt-free, just as I have done. I'm going to do a lot of referencing to financial aid. So this video is really for people who came from a similar background as me. If you don't qualify for financial aid, which I'm aware everyone does not qualify for it, then just reference your parents as financial aid because, in my opinion, they are your financial aid because they are the reasons that you don't qualify for it. My philosophy is to just say no to debt. Some of you guys aren't going to like what I have to say because it's going to require that you make some sacrifices and go against some of the things you may have wanted to do. If financial aid doesn't cover the entire cost of the tuition and housing, and you know what, they don't really make up front that meal plan that they make you pay for as a freshman, if you have to sign those loan papers to do that, then my suggestion for you is to just say no. You're an adult now, so you make your own choices, so you can choose to sign those papers and go into debt. That's your choice. But as an early person entering college, you have choices. You don't have to go straight to the university if you can't afford it. You can choose your other options. The option that I chose was to go to community college. For me, this is where it started, community college. The first thing I want you guys to understand, if you're trying to graduate college debt-free, when you enter college and you get accepted, you're going to have to take a placement test for English and for math. This placement test right here is very important because this is going to decide basically if you're able to graduate college on time or not. And this is also going to determine the likelihood that you're going to actually finish college and graduate. I'm going to pop up a diagram right here. You can relate this to whatever college you go to, okay? So if you do poorly on the math placement test or the English placement test, what they are going to do is they're going to place you in a developmental math class or developmental English class. And the fact that you're in that class is a waste of time because they don't count towards your degree. And so you're wasting a whole entire semester taking that class, and that's going to set you back big time. If you look at this math chart right here, some colleges have more developmental classes than others. So you can actually place 2 years behind. That means you're gonna have to take 2 years worth of math classes before you actually get to take the math class that you need to earn that degree. So understand that. That is the first hurdle, the placement test. If you do well on that and you place into a college level math and English class, you are more likely, in my opinion, to graduate debt-free because you have less of a hurdle to overcome. Let's move on to the next step. But once you finish that placement test and you start your semester, you're going to end up in a classroom like this, and you're going to be looking at a professor standing in a similar position where I'm at. You're going to be sitting right there. Johnny, quit playing around back there. I recommend, if you can't afford college, to start at the community college level. Why do I recommend that? And this is going to help you graduate debt-free, coming from a position where you're not very wealthy, okay? The reason why I'm recommending this is because community college, overall, it has a lesser cost of attendance. If you're like me, when I started college, you fill out the FAFSA and you qualify for financial aid. Financial aid, what occurs is that they'll give you grant money. That is money that you don't have to pay back, all right? It's from the government, which they collect from us hardworking taxpayers and they give to you. What you need to understand is, for the most part, you're gonna want to be full-time. You're going to be a full-time student because that's going to get you out of here fast, right? Wrong. The thing with financial aid that they don't really mention to you like that is what they call full-time for financial aid. You're going to be thinking, I'm going to take these 12 units so that I can qualify for my financial aid and have my college paid for. But what they don't tell you is that a 12-unit course load will not get you out of college within the 4-year recommended time. This is setting you up for about 5 to 6 years. If you want to get out of college in the recommended 4-year time span, you're going to need to take about 15 units a semester. And for student athletes, what you need to understand is you might fall into this trap that I fell into. So I was taking the 12-unit recommended course load, but I had a 3-unit track and field course for each semester within my community college journey. And so in reality, I was only taking a 9-unit academic workload. That ended up getting me out of here in 3 years instead of 2. And what I'm trying to get across right here is that the longer you're here, the more likely you are to fall into debt. So let me erase this. Make sure you take notes, kids. Johnny, if I have to tell you to stop playing around one more time, I'm gonna come up there and, all right? So, to communicate the technique that will allow you to graduate college debt-free, I have to discuss the requirements of a bachelor's degree. Usually, most bachelor degrees have a total unit requirement that demands at least 120 to 130 units before the degree can be earned. All units must be completed with a C or better. You're going to have to take a particular number of full-time semesters or quarters, depending on which system your school or university goes under. For the most part, community colleges all fall under the semester system. Here in California, we have 2 different types of state universities. We have the California State Universities, and then we have the UC system. For the most part, most of the CSUs, they all go for the semester system, except for a few. The opposite is true for the UCs. Most UCs like UCLA, UC Berkeley, they go under the quarter system. Now, let me briefly explain to you the semester system, how that works, and then I'm going to briefly explain how the quarter system works as well. So, for the semester system, you're going to take a 15-unit course load, right, each semester. And let's say you take that 15-unit course load for the 2 main semesters, fall and spring, for 4 years, all right? That's going to equal 8 total semesters in that 4-year time span. And if you take out the unit load and add that up, it's going to be 120 units complete, which is basically the minimum requirement for most bachelor degrees. So that's what you're going to do if you want to graduate in 4 years, assuming you pass all classes, okay? And if you fail a class, what you can do is you can go into the summer session and take that, or the winter session. Or if you don't fail any classes, you can get ahead with the summer and winter sessions. Now for the freaking quarter system, which is a bit different. For the quarter system, you're looking at 4 15-unit quarters a year for 4 years, which equals 12 total quarters. Now, if everything goes right and you pass all your units, you're looking at 180 units, which is the requirement for schools that are on the quarter system. And that's pretty much it right there. We're going to move on to the university, okay? You graduated. Dun, 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 dun. Happy times, right? Wrong. You got to go through university without getting into debt, and it's much more difficult. Welcome to the next level. All right, today I got time. So welcome to the big leagues. We're at universities now. You have a few options. If you're in California, you have 2 different state options that you can go to. You can go to a UC system, or you can go to a CSU. Now, the tuition for the Cal States, they're much less than the UC. So here at UCLA, where I'm at right now, you can expect to pay like $13,000 and some change for just the tuition. And then at the CSU, the Cal State level, you can pay like $3,000 and some change. But then the difference, the thing that's going to pack you into debt is the extra charges for like the cost of living, such as housing. So that's where they get you at. Now let me explain this to you guys. This is a whole new day, but let me finish telling you guys. Let me clear up all the final confusion so that you can really understand how you're going to make it through college without any student loans. I want to kind of tell you guys my story so that you can better understand how I was able to graduate with no student loan debt. Excuse me. So basically, after graduating high school, I didn't have any money to my name because I was a kid, you know what I mean? No trust funds, no nothing. Single parent household that I came from. And so I went to community college. Now, the way community college benefited me was through financial aid. I was able to use the excess grant money that they dispersed to me to like kind of save up to help me get a car, to help me with my expenses that I had, the very few expenses that I had. And so yeah, I kind of used that and I saved and I got a vehicle. Now the vehicle is very crucial, and I suggest you do the same thing if you go to community college and you don't have nothing to your name when you know what I mean, starting, save to get a vehicle. And then this vehicle is going to be very crucial because it's going to help you when you transfer. When you transfer, I suggest you do like I did, pick a university to transfer to that is conveniently placed where you can drive from your parents' house. This is going to be crucial because if you don't have much money to your name, this is going to help you because it's going to stop you from having to have a higher cost of attendance to go to the university. You know what I mean? If you live on campus or if you live around campus, then you're going to have to flip a bill every month. All right, a large bill called rent. And that rent is going to, in essence, if you don't have much income coming in and you're from a, you know what I mean, you don't have much money stored up to pay for it, then that's what's going to get you into debt. Now, when I transferred from community college, I figured out that the financial aid that I received, I got a larger grant because they change up the grant that you get when you go to a university. If you go to a Cal State, you get a certain grant. If you go to a UC, then you have access to different grants because that's just how it's set up. You got to read into it. But anyways, you use that car to drive to the university. As I said, pick a university that's within driving distance. If the university you want to go to is not within driving distance, I'm gonna just tell you like this, you're an adult, kind of see if it's worth it. Is it worth it to move on to campus or to move near that campus and to flip that big bill every month? Is your education going to be that much different from that university compared to the university that is like 30, 40 minutes away from where you currently live with your parents? Make those thoughts. You're a grown adult. I'm going to trust that you make a logical choice for your future, for your financial future. And that's pretty much it. I drove to the university for my whole first year, back and forth to class every time. Shoot, it was pretty chill to me. I low-key was feeling like I was missing out on some dorm life stuff. And so my last year of college, senior year, I was making a little bit more money from my businesses. And so I was like, I want to live on campus because I want to experience that college experience. You know what I mean? I want to do that thing. And so I moved on campus. And I still qualify for the same amount of financial aid. However, this time, I didn't get any money back for financial aid. So instead of getting $3,500, let's just say that was the amount, at the beginning of the semester, I didn't get nothing. Plus, I had to pay because the dorming fees, they were, it was like $900 a month to live in a dorm. Financial aid covered most of that as far as the disbursement that I would have got back. It wouldn't apply to the dorming fees, but then it didn't cover all of it. So I had to end up paying like, you know what I mean, $900 times like 3 or 4. Because it left out like 3 or 4 months that it didn't cover. So all in all, if you must live in the dorms, you could do it, but you're just gonna have to get a job so that you're able to catch up and pay the excess fees, okay? Now, it's gonna be more difficult for you if you don't have money coming in like that because instead of getting a disbursement back, you're not getting nothing and then you owe. So that's the thing right there. If you're confident in your ability, you know what I mean, to get a job and to manage your money well, then you can live on campus and pay off those fees as long as you're managing your money well. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. But yeah, if you don't have that income and that job, I suggest get that vehicle and commute to college back and forth. And that's the end of the video. I hope if you have been waiting for this video since I first said I was going to drop it, that it helped you out enough. I know some of you probably watching this at a point in time where you're like probably like a junior or senior and you're like, Rashad, man, I wish you would have dropped this sooner. My bad, y'all. Just go forward with your life and just make sure you're making the smart decisions. Make sure that you're making decisions based off of logic and not based off of pure emotions, all right? Because your emotions can steer you wrong logically. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of this video. Doses.